I was always an optimistic kid, always was trying new things, wanted to try different things. A really smart, intelligent kid, but didn't believe it. And I didn't believe all the talents that I had at an early age. In elementary, that was when I got into a lot of trouble. And it was a terrible time with me just following the rules. When I didn't have my dad at the time, he was that was the start of him not being around. And it was just like, hey, maybe this kind of just brought a little bit of attention to myself and see where it goes. Maybe I'll bring my dad around. Mr. Barker, he went through a lot with me because that was my first mentor. I've never had anybody that actually wanted to help me get better and be better. So I was like a little optimistic. Let's just see what happens.
The 100 Black Men Organization of America's primary focus is mentoring, and so that's where we started. We developed the Freedman Academy. We had a curriculum, a formal curriculum, and it focused on developing life skills for the students. And we had speakers, we also had projects for them. We did field trips and different other activities to keep them engaged and involved.
First of all, I was really captivated by the 100 Black Men mentors greeting us at the door. It felt like a welcoming feeling, to feel like we're wanted. I was so flabbergasted at how many different varieties of things that these males were doing. Like a doctor, a lawyer, dentist, seeing like those older cats just doing those different things at their ages and telling us that it's possible and I'll lead you there. That was the signal for me to get going and start with them. But with me being very standoffish and very quiet, I felt like I was a little bit invisible. And Mr. Barker, he heard me. He seen me for what I was. It was no judgment from where I was coming from. It was no judgment with how I was, my mindset back then. And I could trust him with whatever because he listened, he cared. And that was what kind of just put me under his wing.
He was exceptional and he stood out from day one. So I knew that was somebody that I wanted to work with, and it's worked out better than I ever thought it could. It's important if you're going to stay in these young men's lives, then you need to make that commitment. It was a time commitment for the mentors, but it was also a big commitment for the students because they had to get out of bed on Saturday morning after going to school all week long and listen to a bunch of old men, pontificate about life.
They were really adamant on giving us all the resources that we needed to win. So Mr. Barker, he will always step in. He was my transportation back then. My mom would have to work in the middle of those times where I had to be at internship. And that was like a father figure thing, like an obligation, because he didn't have to do that. But he's seen the drive. He's seen that I wanted to do it, that I was passionate about wanting to do these different things. So whatever I was interested in, he made so many sacrifices or pulled a lot of strings to get me into a lot of things that I was doing. The beginning of my freshman year, I felt like nobody can stop me. I felt like I was confident enough to be able to thrive. I was able to never give up. I had learned that theory through those guys from the 100. But it was a tough time to navigate through, and it brought a lot of insecurity through my time in high school. I felt like every time I did math, it was blank. I felt like I was at rock bottom with how much of a toll it took. I was really just adamant on being the best version of myself. And I realized that as I was getting older and everything, a lot of scholarships didn't really come up for me in athletics. So my only way out was through academics, and I had to show what I was worth. I lost a lot of friends with that because of how much of a stickler I was with my academics.
He never really shared those struggles with me. I guess he wanted to do it on his own. And just goes to show you don't know what a person is really feeling or thinking, right? Because I always thought he was, an outgoing, popular kid. He was an athlete, and he was a good student. He was a good-looking young man, and I just thought he had it all together.
At Indiana University of Bloomington, I didn't know if I was gonna be able to thrive in a big campus like this, but that was the sacrifice that I took to get into what I wanted to get into. So when I've got into these classes and these spaces where I didn't see a lot of minority, it was definitely a big culture shock. And it took me until like my junior year of college to fully navigate. So Mr. Barker, even when I was in college, I reached out to him a lot.
What's interesting with the mentee-mentor relationship, it's not a one-way all give on the part of the mentors, because the give back on the part of the mentees is the satisfaction that you get seeing a young person grow and develop and get on the right track for living a happy, successful life. I remember saying to him, I'm going to come to your high school graduation, I'm going to come to your college graduation, and I'm going to come to your wedding, God willing. And we've been able to accomplish the high school and the college. So it's up to him when he's getting married.
With me being a teacher currently, it was just something that I feel like I've grown into over time. And it just feels quite natural to kind of just wanna teach and to wanna learn and help motivate the kids and understand their backgrounds of where they are, because that's what the 100 did for me. Not giving up on whoever the kid is, whoever a person is, and just really just being a genuine, all around good person, good man, and being an example. Because that's what we really need, is a true example of strong, black, educated men that really care about giving back. Good afternoon, students. How y'all doing? Good, good, good. Nice to see y'all again.